Hi everybody, I hope you are well. My name is Grazia and welcome back to another one of my videos. This video today is a little bit different. I am going to be walking you through different techniques used in making my Naiad shorts. So the hope is that you see this video and you didn't know about the Naiad shorts and you love them and so then you want to knit them, or you might be working on the pattern right now and you're coming to this video to see how to do something and to just see different techniques. In this video I am going to be knitting a swatch and I'm going to show you different techniques like make one left, make one right, purl. I am also going to show you how you pick up stitches for the ruffles because there's a very specific way that I did that to create the look of this. I am also going to walk you through the instructions for the scalloped edge, which is just this lace repeat right here. I think these shorts will definitely create something called Ruffle Island because these ruffles are a work of love, I will say. Specifically, the repeat on the end of the row. I am also going to show you how to crochet an elastic into the waistband that gives it this stretchy reinforcement while still being able to create a very thin, low profile waistband that was very much part of the design when I created these. I am going to include chapters on this video, so if there's one specific part that you need, you can just skip right on to that. But if not, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It is a little bit different than my other videos. As of September 15th, 2025, the Naiad shorts pattern is available on Ravelry and Etsy, so if you want to support my work, it means so much anytime I see an order of a pattern come through. While this is a tutorial, it does not give you like sizing or any in-depth details about how to shape the shorts and just like size specific details. So if you do use any of these techniques to create something like this and you don't buy the pattern, all of these things are readily available techniques, and maybe just tag me because I actually just want to see what you create with ruffles because I love ruffles and I just think it would be cool. If you do want more size specific details or information, it is on my pattern. I have 8 sizes available, so if you want to make these, then 8 sizes are available. Probably have your size. Anyways, I think that's enough talking for now. I hope you enjoy. Start off with materials. Of course, you'll need your yarn. I used Malabrigo xoxo. You'll need 4mm needles and 3mm needles. You'll need some scissors, a tapestry needle, a 3.25mm crochet hook, and 0.6mm elastic thread. So then you want to cast on with your stretchiest cast on that you know. For this, I personally use the long tail cast on method, and I did that little trick where you wrap the yarn around your needle a certain amount of times, which always gives me more yarn than I need, which is what you want actually. For this swatch, I knit the ribbing for 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters, but the pattern calls for 1.25 inches or 3 centimeters. So after the ribbing is done, in the pattern I instruct you on how to do German short row shaping to give a little bit of extra space for the butt. But then after the German short row shaping is done, your first row is a purl row. So here I want to show you how to do a make one left, make one right purl. Starting with the make one right, you want to take your needle from the back to the front of the bar. Then you're going to knit into the front leg purlwise. So for the make one left purl, you're going to take your needle from the front to the back this time, and you're going to knit into the back leg purlwise. This one is a little bit more difficult because it takes a little bit of maneuvering, but that is how you make a make one left purl. So these purl rows are evenly spaced out apart, and in the pattern, depending on your size, you increase at a different rate. There are times where you'll have an increase row that is just regular make one lefts and make one rights, or you'll have increase rows that are make one left purls, make one right purls. But no matter the increases, the purl rows are always 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters apart from each other. Here I am showing you again how I do the make one right purls and the make one left purls, just in case you want to see it again. So these shorts are constructed in 2 different layers. The first layer is the regular stockinette stitch with the purl rows throughout the entire shorts. Now I'm going to show you how to knit the ruffles onto the shorts. I'm starting by just putting a piece of scrap yarn onto the part that is the top. This marks the waistband just because in my swatch it's a little bit hard to tell. So when picking up the stitches for the ruffles, this stitch right here is technically the stitches that are worked, but we're going to be working on those in-between stitches, which are the purl bumps that are facing towards the waistband. By picking these stitches up, it will create a more seamless look on top of the ruffles so you don't really see these purl bumps. And you're going to be doing this with the legs facing away from you in the waistband closest to you. So the pickup rate for the ruffles is 1.5 times the stitches. So for every 2 stitches, you're going to pick up 3 stitches. That means that you're going to pick up 2 purl bumps facing towards the waistband and 1 of the purl bumps facing towards the legs. And you'll repeat that throughout the entire purl row. For each ruffle, you work it for 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. Sorry for the lighting change too. My battery had died and none of my batteries were charged and I took a little bit of a nap, so it got a little bit dark out. Now we are going to begin the scalloped edge. It is worked over 1 row. So to set up this row, you're going to start by knitting 4 stitches and then binding off 2. Now comes the repeat. So you're going to cast on 7 stitches to the left needle using the backwards loop method. It may feel a little odd, but just trust the process. Once you have these 7 new stitches on your left needle, you're going to slip all of them purlwise, but you're going to start by slipping one purlwise with the yarn in back, then you're going to slip the next one purlwise with the yarn in front, and then switch off putting the yarn in front and in back until you finish all the stitches. The 7th stitch should be slipped purlwise with the yarn in back. Now from that, you're going to bind off 5 stitches. So one of those stitches will be one that you just casted on. You're then going to repeat this process of casting on 7 stitches and binding off 5 stitches until you have 4 stitches or less, and you're going to finish off by knitting those stitches. This part definitely takes the longest and is what I mean by Ruffle Island, because you're working with 1.5 times the amount of stitches and you're continuously casting on new stitches and binding off the existing stitches, so it takes a long time, but I promise it's so worth it in the end. So when you're done with that lace row, you are just going to bind off all stitches as regular. So now I'm going to show you how I crocheted the elastic thread into my shorts. So you start off with your 0.6 millimeter thread and 3.25 millimeter crochet hook, or whatever size feels best for you. So the way that I did this was I put my needle into each of the knit rows on the opposite side. I feel like it's easier for me to show you than it is to explain it, but I very loosely held my elastic thread in my hand and I did a single crochet maybe, I'm not quite sure what it is, but pretty much I did this over every other stitch since I only worked into the knit side when there was a knit and a purl, a knit and a purl. I only worked into the side that I could see on the wrong side. I feel like I jumbled my way through that, so I hope that visually you're able to see what I'm doing a lot better than I was able to explain it. Anyways, I did this on the top of the inside of the ribbing and the bottom of the inside of the ribbing to create a sort of elastic effect that was reinforcing the top and the bottom. So the entire ribbing was secure. So that was it for my technique tutorial. I had such an interesting setup. I had my camera hanging onto my window, onto my blinds. So it was kind of sus, but it worked out well. If you have any questions at all, you can find me on Instagram and on TikTok, but on Instagram I can more directly respond to messages if you need any help with anything. If you do purchase this pattern, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It means so much, and this feels like a dream. Creating YouTube videos, creating patterns, making cute shorts. Like, there's no way that this is actually real. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for next week's video, because next week will actually be a followable tutorial that I'm going to create this weekend. So thank you for watching. Again, I appreciate it, and hopefully see you in my next video. Bye. My camera's super far away. You see how cute she is? I know you'd love to see her in my PSs. She's the cutest little squirrel ever.